This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, a deadly officer-involved shooting in Palmetto. Police say 2 Palmetto police officers were involved, and the suspect died from his injuries. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us now live from the scene with what we know so far. Jess?
Good afternoon, Scott. It was right here at the intersection of 2nd Avenue West and 25th Street West in Palmetto where this 2 officer-involved shooting with 1 male victim happened. I'm going to take a step aside so you can look. Neighbors say right here behind me is where the body was found this morning after gunfire rang out in this usually quiet neighborhood. Now, police have been very tight-lipped up until this point about what happened. The chief has confirmed that an 2 officers with Palmetto Police Department shot and killed a man and that all officers are okay. It is still a very active scene here this afternoon. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office, Palmetto Police Department, and even the State Police Department all on scene. Now, neighbors say it was around 2 o'clock this morning when they heard half a dozen gunshots ring out.
We were asleep that time of morning, me and my husband asleep, and the gunfire had waking us up. The boom, 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 the gunfire.
Now, there is a press conference coming up at 1 p.m. That's when we expect to learn a little bit more. Now, just down the street, there is a house that is also riddled with gunfire. We are unsure at this point in time whether or not that is connected to the scene here. But we will bring you that press conference live on our Facebook page so you can learn the information as we do. Reporting live in Palmetto, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you so much. Trial is now underway for a former Sarasota County Sheriff's deputy charged with attempted murder. Jury selection started this morning in the case against Frank Bybee. He's facing 20 felony charges for allegedly befriending an elderly woman, stealing her money, and then trying to kill her while making it look like a suicide. Bybee's defense claims the woman has a history of mental health issues, including emails where she threatened to kill herself. Bybee has pleaded not guilty. Now to the latest on a landscape worker who was killed by a live power line while working on Siesta Key. This all happened around 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon on Freeling Drive near the Siesta Key North Bridge. Sarasota County Emergency Services reports the man died at the scene.
Any active power line, you know, the energy in that is very strong and obviously can have, you know, consequences. So you want to stay away from power lines. They teach you from a very young age, you know, as a kid not to climb on power lines or fly a kite or anything, and they're simply worried about the amount of electricity that flows through those lines.
Victim was working in a bucket truck and could not be reached until Florida Power and Light shut off the electrical grid in that area. The victim worked for a private company. Freeling Drive was closed for several hours and some homes are still without power. Let's get a check on our Monday weather with meteorologist John Scalzi, and a really nice start to the day, I thought, today. And
indeed. And by the way, good to see you again.
Yeah, great to be back with you.
I haven't seen you since the hurricane,
I've
actually.
been on the night shift
yes, you
for a
have.
few weeks, but back to the noon,
nice.
and happy to be here.
Missed you a lot.
Yeah,
good to have you here.
Thank you.
So, what was your question?
Oh, it's
beautiful weather.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Indeed it is. We have Maria is actually helping us out in that regard. Maria's spinning around out in the Atlantic very slowly, kind of getting a little bit weaker, but still having some pretty good form there. What it is doing is drawing down some drier air over the Florida Peninsula and allowing us a little reduction in our rainfall chances over the next several days. Yesterday we had some pretty good thunder boomers move through here. We had a combination of factors allowed for that we'll talk about in just a minute, but those factors are gone today and the drier air has moved in, so I expect to see maybe a 10% chance of a shower this afternoon, mostly in inland areas. That would be about it, and that's, I think, generous. The forecast high, of course, will be warmer because of the amount of sunshine that we get and the lack of rainfall, so put that daytime high up at around the 90 percentile mark. All in all, we're in for a string of relatively dry days, and we'll talk all about those coming up in just a few. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Flood insurance claims are increasing throughout the state. Nearly 17,000 have filed already, and more are expected in the coming weeks. The Sun Sentinel reports of the 16,000 flood claims filed through Thursday, nearly 4,000 were filed in Monroe County, which is the Florida Keys. The number of reports decrease as you head north from there. Here on the Suncoast, 295 claims have been filed in both Manatee and Sarasota counties. Florida's national and state parks that were affected by Irma could take weeks or longer to reopen. The National Park Service has sent nearly 400 workers to 15 parks in Irma's path in Georgia, South Carolina, the Caribbean, and here in Florida. Almost 140 state parks were closed after the storm. All but 31 have since reopened, including DeSoto National Memorial in Bradenton, which just reopened on Friday. Puerto Rico and U.S. Virgin Islands are still reeling from Hurricane Maria, and as Leila Santiago shows us, communication is scarce in Maria's aftermath.
From above, the images tell the story of Maria's destruction. But on the ground, the faces tell the story of its desperation, as many on this island of 3.5 million people struggle to reach their loved ones.
This is the only place where we could get signal.
On this highway overpass, dozens pull over, hoping that this spot is the one to reunite family, if only by voice. Jose Flores drove for hours to get here, to get to cell service, to get to tell his daughter in Florida one thing.
So she'll let my family know that we're fine.
For others, borrowed satellite phones are their last hope.
People are trying anything they can to reach out. This note, handwritten, was passed along to our photographer in hopes that it would reach a loved one. It says, among other things, Tony, okay, Tony at Frank's house, and love you all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Later that day, we were able to get a call out to his girlfriend in New York.
So it was just such a relief. Neither I nor his family has really slept all week just worrying about it.
An FCC report found 96% of cell towers in Puerto Rico are not working. The government here says it's trying to figure out which towers need generators and fuel to start working again. A small sign of hope on this island with so much to rebuild. For many here, the first chance to talk is the first step to recovery. Leila Santiago, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Hillary Clinton wants President Trump to do more to help Puerto Rico recover from Hurricane Maria. Sunday, the former Secretary of State tweeting that the Trump administration should send in the U.S. Navy to aid residents there, adding, quote, "These are American citizens." So far, there's been no response from the White House. FEMA says the Pentagon is sending in the Army Corps of Engineers to help. At least 10 people have died from the storm and millions lost power on the island territory. President Trump has issued a disaster declaration and ordered federal assistance to help with recovery efforts. AT&T is helping to locate and connect friends and families in Puerto Rico. You can now log on to the website att.com/Maria Update to get in contact with a loved one in Puerto Rico. First, you enter the cell phone number of your person you're trying to reach, then enter yours, and when that person connects to Wi-Fi, they will get a notification that you're trying to contact them. Communications CEO for the company made a trip to the island this weekend to help assess the damage and begin the recovery plans. They're also sending relief flights filled with generators and supplies. The initial flights carried more than 20 generators to help restore communications, bottled water, food supplies, and personnel to help. ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us with a check on the day on Wall Street so far. First off, welcome back, Richard. Great to see you from your trip abroad. And it's a down morning to start the new week on Wall Street so far.
It's a down morning, but it's an up world. I have to tell you, my wife and I and good friends of ours made a trip to South Africa. We were there for 15 days. And for those of you who are out there that have the opportunity or make the opportunity to go, I highly recommend it. The trip is absolutely phenomenal. More phenomenal than the morning on Wall Street. Unfortunately, the Dow was down about 30 points at the open. Then we had strong words from North Korea again, and the Dow fell to minus 120. We did modify that loss, but we are down as we speak. Let's take a look at the numbers as of 11:30 this morning. There you see the Dow is 22,277.05, a loss of 72.5 points, 1/3 of 1%. That on volume of 489 million shares. The NASDAQ, the big loser, tech stocks very weak, down 55 points, almost 0.9 of 1% at 6,371.45. That on volume of 699 million shares. The S&P, very much like the Dow, down 1/3 of 1%, 7.5 points at 2,494.84. Well, not all the news is negative today. If you work for Target or if you're thinking about working for Target, Congratulations, you're getting a raise as of October 1st, which is the end of this week. The minimum wage at Target is going from $10 an hour to $11 an hour, effective, as I say, at the end of this week. That includes more than 100,000 temporary workers who are hired for the holidays. And Target also said it does have the goal of getting its minimum wage to $15 an hour by the end of the year 2020. And by way of comparison, Walmart, which of course is a big competitor of Target or vice versa, currently has a minimum wage of $10 an hour. So Scott, the holidays are coming up quickly, and those who work for Target getting a little more in their paycheck.
That'll help, definitely. And you'll be back at 5 with the closing numbers.
I certainly will.
All right, we look forward to it. Thank you so much, Richard. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, one fast food chain is helping Hurricane Irma victims, and you can also do your part today. And the latest health care bill does not bode well for Florida. I'll tell you why when we come back. Stay with us.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
Here we go. We're going to go out there in the rain. You're going to get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh, yeah. Yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
The Alfa Romeo Stelvio takes the modern compact luxury crossover and injects it with personality.
Every crossover should be this good to drive.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Start your day with a new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
As a singer-songwriter, it's all about creating high-performance art that moves people. Same is true in making gorgeous cars. Fiat designs it. You're the artist.
Choose your palette just about any color combo inside out. No small wonder, state-of-the-art style Fiat.
Now this moves me. Oh, they're playing my song.
Let the art of Fiat move you at Fiat of Sarasota.
I went in skeptical and came away impressed.
Stelvio can spring from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds, a segment best.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
81-degree air temperature is not all that terribly bad. Got a lot of sunshine out there. Dew point value coming in at 74. Calm winds right now. We'll be watching those shift around more to the northwest, I think, as we head into the afternoon. It's 87 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca at 86, 87 degrees in Northport, 85 in Boca Grande, 88 degrees in Venice, 80 degrees in Bradenton, and 84 degrees in Parrish. So across the nation right now, we have a couple of features that are kind of interesting. One is the lack of weather in the northeast, stretching down through the Ohio Valley into the deep south, back to the coastal regions even. The line of showers that you see located back through, slicing really through the open plains and the Front Range. And then down to the south, we're looking at some scattered showers that are around the Florida Peninsula. That's an interesting feature that was part of yesterday's weather. And then right here, you're beginning to see some of the outwardmost bands of a hurricane popping up on radar. Locally, we had some pretty big thunder boomers around here yesterday, but now things have kind of quieted down. In fact, both Saturday and Sunday, we had some pretty good storms around. Now the area of low pressure that was partly responsible for that, lifting off to the north and to the east and kind of falling apart as it does so. So what we're seeing now is some drier air filtering in. And that drier air really is kind of turning off the rain machine and not allowing for any kind of widespread thunderstorm activity today. Now, do we have a chance at a thunderstorm? You know, yes, slight chance, 10% maybe, if that. Chance at a shower, a little bit better, but, you know, still not very high. For the next couple of days, in fact, I think our radar is going to look a lot like this, which is dry. If we see any showers at all later today, they'll be most likely in inland areas, and they'll most likely be drifting away from the coast. There is our hurricane, Hurricane Maria, still spinning around. Looking a little unhealthy at this hour, though, kind of lopsided, in fact. It's had a couple of things going on with it that we'll talk about in just a second here. Winds, though, directed around this area of high pressure are coming in out of the north, and as that high builds in and Maria kind of lumbers to the north, we'll see our winds shift a little bit more to the westerly direction or northwesterly direction. So it'll be a warm day, no doubt about that, with lots of sunshine coming down, but we won't see a whole lot of thunderstorm activity. Maria, on the other hand, is kind of suffering from a couple of things. One, it's getting some shear. Two, it's moving over some colder water. And three, it's sucking in some of the drier air that's bringing us our beautiful weather. So today, not as many storms around for us. A warm afternoon under mostly sunny skies. This dry air is indicated here on the water vapor imagery by these tan colors. Kind of takes a snapshot from a satellite of where the moisture is, where it is not. Right now, it's over Florida. And if you'll notice around the eye of the circulation of the storm, a little bit of that drier air is kind of filtering in. Well, dry air and hurricanes are like oil and water. They just don't mix. And that's one of the reasons that we're seeing a little bit of decay in the structure of that storm. For us, scattered showers maybe in inland areas, and really that's going to be about it for the remainder of the day. Tomorrow I think will be a mostly dry day. We just won't see a whole lot going on. Two storms that we're watching out in the Atlantic, Maria and Lee. We'll talk about those in detail coming up in the next half hour. Neither of them are a threat to the United States. We have, to the state of Florida. One of them, Maria, is a little bit of a threat to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We'll talk about that in a few. East wind coming in at 10, switching to the west at about 5, with the sea breeze building in the afternoon. Light winds, nice day for boating. Over the course of the next several days, the first alert forecast calls for relatively dry conditions. And then we'll get back to that 30 or 40% chance of showers by the weekend. Back to you.
All right, John, thank you. Many of the states President Donald Trump won last year would lose significant federal financing under the latest health care bill headed to the Senate this week. Among the red states and swing states expected to lose, Florida, Arizona, Kentucky, and Ohio. Such cuts would swell the number of uninsured people. Of the 30 states President Trump carried in his surprise victory, 16 would lose federal health care money under the bill, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation estimates. Trump administration is taking fire for its plans to shut down the Obamacare website during parts of the enrollment season. White House officials say the site will be closed for 12 hours on all but one Sunday during the enrollment. Healthcare.gov will also be offline on the first day of open enrollment, November 1st. The administration claims the shutdowns are part of regular maintenance schedule, but critics are not buying it, saying the White House is purposely trying to undermine Obamacare. They say fewer people could get coverage because weekends is the exact time when many working families sign up. The open enrollment season lasts from November 1st until December 15th. U.S. Senator John McCain says doctors have given him a very poor prognosis as he battles brain cancer. And McCain underwent surgery in July for a brain tumor that was later found to be a form of glioblastoma. This is the same type of cancer that took the life of former Senate colleague Edward M. Kennedy back in 2009. McCain tells CBS's 60 Minutes in an interview that aired last night that he thinks about Ted Kennedy a lot. He says Kennedy continued to work despite the diagnosis and never gave up because he loved the engagement. McCain says he has feelings sometimes of fear of what happens, but counters that with gratitude for having had a great life. Wells Fargo is giving pink slips to employees at one of its corporate headquarters. The bank announcing Friday it's laying off some positions in Charlotte, North Carolina. The company would not say how many people would lose their jobs, but it has more than 24,000 employees in that area. Wells Fargo has been plagued with a series of controversies in recent months, including the massive bank account scandal. The bank still faces a slew of investigations, including one from the Securities and Exchange Commission and another from the Department of Justice. Wells Fargo did not indicate the layoffs were in any way linked to their recent problems. Chipotle restaurants across Florida are raising money today to support Hurricane Irma relief efforts. Half of the price of meals bought will go to the United Way Irma Recovery Fund, and money raised will be distributed to local United Ways in areas that were affected by the storm. That offer stands until 10 o'clock tonight. Time now to head over to our kitchen, where our good friend, Chef Paul Madison from Madison Restaurants and Catering joins us today. Paul, great to have you back in our kitchen today. A lot of, what do you got there, steam going on?
We got a lot of steam going on over here, Scott, yes. We're doing today a bison agnolote. So we're making a little stuffing for the agnolote pasta. We're going to serve that with a truffled Alfredo sauce and a little bit of black garlic drizzle. So come on back, should be good.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
It's Willamania at the Players Center as the Will Rogers Follies takes the stage September 27th. Part homespun humor and part Ziegfeld Follies, this toe-tapping Tony Award musical is the start of our wild Broadway series. So call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. You need to catch Willamania.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
The story of a puppy found abandoned at the Las Vegas airport went viral over the summer. Nathan O'Neill now has an update on the family that's about to take him in.
It's this image that broke the country's heart. A puppy abandoned at the Las Vegas airport with a handwritten note. It says, quote, "My owner was in an abusive relationship and couldn't afford to get me on the flight." The owner says she had no other option.
He had a pretty good bump on the side of his head. He also had some pain in his jaw. Like when I was driving him to the emergency vet, he yawned and there was just this gut-scrunching scream.
3 months later, Chewy is now happy and healthy.
What do you want to say, Chewy?
The 2-pound Chihuahua is now being cared for by foster parent Patricia Montano.
Hi, I love you. Oh, I love you too.
Chewy's story garnered international attention from the Washington Post to People magazine and the BBC. Thousands of people wanting to adopt him.
I think his story is what touched everybody.
Now, Chewy is finally about to be adopted by a local family. Their identities being kept secret for now.
Where are you going? Are you chasing me? Come on, come on.
Patricia just wants everyone to know there are resources out there, like Noah's Animal House, a boarding house that keeps sheltered women and children near their pets.
I think he really set the stage for people to talk about domestic violence.
As for Chewy's original owner, the one who left that heartbreaking note, she hasn't been found.
No, she never came forward, and and I can see why. If she really was in a horrible situation, I can see why she didn't come forward. But I think she's seen that he's okay, and he's a happy boy.
That rescue that's been taking care of Chewy these past few months is now hosting a fundraiser this coming Saturday, and Chewy will be there, a celebrity in his own right, for sure. Glad a good life is ahead for him. Back to the kitchen now. John is with Chef Paul Madison.
Chef Paul, good to have you here, sir.
Good to be here.
Good to hear you. You spent a lot of time here helping out in the recovery effort as well, as I understand
We've
it.
been very busy the past couple of weeks.
Feeding people and making sure the crews had full bellies to help restore everybody's services and such.
Yes.
So what are you cooking for us today?
Making agnolotti. This is a bison agnolotti. So I made them, and I'll show you how to make these in a second. Let's get them cooking.
Okay.
So agnolotti is kind of similar to a ravioli or a tortellini, but it's got a little different twist to it. So I got a little piece of pasta dough here. And I got the stuffing all made. This is bison, which is slow roasted and just kind of pulled into shreds, pulled the meat off the bone. And we cooked it with some shallots and garlic, some fresh herbs, a little bit of cream. And so we put a couple of little nests of that in there.
So you said it's a pasta. Is this like a regular semolina dough? Is that what you do?
Yeah, regular pasta dough. All right. So I'm going to brush one side of it, and then we're going to kind of fold this over. Bring that down just a little bit. We'll fold that over. And we want to close the end, so I get my little pasta cutter here. We can go right along the end with that, and that kind of seals it. And so let's get a little extra dough come off. And then I'm going to make like little half moons, so I'll go in between the two.
Is there a secret to this? Because I notice whenever I have tried to make like a pasta dish with one of these cutters or whatever, I get air bubbles in there. And then everything goes.
You got to kind of squeeze your air out of there a little bit, that's for sure.
Okay.
And it can happen. So I end up with like a little bit of a half moon shape, pretty simple. And then just dust the back again with that egg wash. Egg wash is kind of your glue. And then we stick them together like that. And you got an agnolotti.
Beautiful.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Nice.
So
pop it in.
And with fresh pasta dough, it cooks.
Can I mix them or just gonna put it right in there?
No.
No.
Because these are going to be already done.
Right.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah?
What can happen?
You know what I mean? You wouldn't do it in the restaurant, but.
Okay. So then we got a little Alfredo sauce here, typical Alfredo sauce, a little cream reduction, some Parmesan, and we're going to add some nice black truffle. I've got some black summer truffles here, and so we're just going to generously add some of those along with some of that oil, the juice that it's in. That's going to give it so much.
Oh, I can smell it from here.
And we'll put a little fresh parsley in there as well. And then I've got an onion confit, which means I've kind of stewed the onion in a little bit of olive oil and let it just kind of simmer in its own oils. And so a lot of great flavors there.
It's going to be nice and tender.
Yeah, so let's get that truffle cream in the bottom of the bowl.
Wow. Anything with truffle, I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
It smells so good.
It's just got
so
such
flavorful.
such a distinct and unique flavor.
Done
It's
it up.
just so nice.
Smell that. Fantastic.
Okay, and then we'll fish our agnolottis out, and they start to come up to float. They're done. This is a nice thing about making fresh pasta is that it cooks so quickly, and it's so nice and tender. Just come right across like there. Now one of these is going to be a little firm, and I'm not sure which one.
Gee, I don't know either. I should have marked it.
You can tell me. And then just as a little garnish to the end, I've got a drizzle here. We use some black garlic. And
black garlic?
Yeah, black garlic.
What is that?
It's just slowly
I
roasted.
have never. Oh, is that what it is? This is white garlic that's been roasted till it's dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we just put a little drizzle. That's got a little demi-glace in the.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, where did the color come from?
And then if you can grate some of that cheese, you
sure.
put your work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shape a little bit of that over the
What kind of
top.
cheese are you using on this?
It's a little Reggiano Parmesan. Yeah, beautiful.
I'm not stingy with the Parmesan Reggiano.
You know, the only thing we need is fresh ground pepper here. That would really finish that
if
off.
only we had it. That is absolutely gorgeous. Is this on your menu? Is this a special item?
That is something we're featuring with the St. Supri wine dinner. It's going to be served with a Cabernet course, and that's coming up on the 28th later this week.
Fantastic. Yeah. Paul, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely gorgeous. The recipe, as always, on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining link page. It'll take you right there. Chef Paul's video instructions. Or just go to the wine dinner, and they'll serve it up for you in person.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back.
The Alfa Romeo Stelvio takes the modern compact luxury crossover and injects it with personality.
Every crossover should be this good to drive.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. It's the final days of the Bacon's Furniture Relocation Sell-Off. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more. All at the absolute lowest prices possible. Don't miss the final days of the Bacon's Furniture and Design Relocation Sell-Off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is the best overall brand for 2 years running and the most trusted brand for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Right now, you can lease one of Subaru's most versatile vehicles, the Subaru Crosstrek, for as little as $199 a month, or get 2.9% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
Get the lowest prices of the year during the Ram Power Days event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Don't just settle for what's available at a smaller lot. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab at rock bottom pricing. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
I went in skeptical and came away impressed.
Stelvio can spring from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds, a segment best.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, has opened a disaster recovery center in Venice. It will be open until Wednesday at the Venice Community Center from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. each day. You can talk to FEMA representatives in person who can help you sign up for disaster relief assistance if your home suffered damage in the storm. For those with damaged roofs, they can also provide you with tarps and send an inspector over to see what needs to be done. FEMA has loan programs as well to help small businesses recover if they have damage as well. Again, the center will be open from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. at the Venice Community Center until Wednesday. There will soon be new rules governing entry to the United States for citizens of 8 countries. John Lorink has more on the latest set of travel restrictions.
President Trump makes revisions to his controversial travel ban. Starting next month, new restrictions go into place for some citizens of Chad, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Syria, Yemen, Venezuela, and North Korea. These constraints replace portions of Mr. Trump's previous travel ban, which expired Sunday.
When this thing got started, we called it President Trump's Muslim ban. So clearly, adding North Korea to the list is a reaction.
For the past 3 months, many nationals from 6 Muslim-majority countries were banned from coming into the U.S. Those who had a bona fide relationship with a person already in the country were among those exempted from the ban. Individuals from the 8 countries announced Sunday are still able to apply for visas until October 18th, which is when the restrictions are slated to take effect. Mr. Trump tweeted Sunday night, "Making America safe is my #1 priority." And supporters of this decision say it will enhance national security.
Let's be clear, the majority of these countries are either direct, threats to this country, or they are countries that have aided and abetted ISIS and Al-Qaeda.
But others, including the ACLU, are opposed to these revisions.
He knows it's going to be a steep hill to climb when this effort goes before the Supreme Court.
The High Court is expected to hear arguments on the legality of the ban in October. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
When asked by reporters of his decision about the travel ban, President Trump said the tougher, the better. Here at home, wildlife experts giving a crash course to interested residents over the weekend. The Wildlife Center of Venice holding a rescue training class which teaching people about how to properly care for injured animals. Volunteers even using a young girl as a prop to show how to snare a bird. The goal, to recruit more volunteers to help protect, rescue, and rehabilitate wildlife in our area. Now, if you'd like to learn more about future free training classes or volunteer, you can visit wildlifecenterofvenice.org. Sarasota and Manatee counties are trying to ease traffic around the World Rowing Championships by offering discounts on bus passes. A week-long pass is $20 per person. For seniors over 65, it's only $10. You can buy the passes at the downtown Sarasota transfer station, the SCAT Transit Administration offices, and the Cattleman Road station. Also buy daily passes on board the buses, but that's a cash-only transaction. And John is back with our first alert weather, and of course we're all hoping for some good weather for the rowers out there all week long.
I know.
Typically we can get those afternoon storms, which can just shut things down for a little while.
Like to see the thunderstorms stay away.
Yeah.
I guess they're okay with a little bit of light rain or drizzle.
Yeah.
Might even make them feel a little more comfortable out there. But, you know, I think we got a couple of good days in a row here of less than average rain chances and certainly much less than average thunderstorm chances. So, fingers crossed, everything will work out well. The Van Wezel webcam put into motion shows some blue sky to start the day with only a few fair weather clouds. Those clouds kind of rolling in from activity out in the Gulf, but nothing really heavy. And in fact, even at this hour, I think we're seeing a lot more blue sky than we are fair weather clouds. That'll be the case throughout most of the afternoon, I think. Maria continues to spin around out in the Atlantic, pretty close to the mid-Atlantic coastline. But you know what? If you drew a line right straight through it from 12 noon to 6 o'clock, you'd kind of notice that most of the heavy activity is well to the east of the center of that circulation. That's good news for coastal Carolina. As that thing lifts northward, it'll be on the quieter side of the storm. As far as forecast for us goes, I think the radar is going to look a lot like it does right now when we get into 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Only about a 10% chance of showers. That's about it. Daytime high, though, warm, near 90. Complete forecast in a second, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. One person is dead after a shooting incident at a Tennessee church. Police say a gunman entered the church yesterday and then started firing. 7 others were hurt. Michaela Lewis has the story of a 10-year-old that helped barricade the doors.
You're just sitting there on the church pew and you heard 3 shots.
Bam, bam, bam. He just kept pulling the trigger.
We heard 3 gunshots and we thought they were firecrackers and stuff. And then we shut the door and somebody said, "Get down, get down."
From inside Burnett Chapel Church of Christ to outside.
I'm sorry.
All walks of life heard a gunman opening fire at the Antioch Church Sunday morning.
Damn. This can't be happening out here.
It's a shock for residents like Joe Love and his wife.
They had just let out the woman that got killed in the parking lot. She was the first one out of the church, and her sister and her mother was behind her coming out. And all of a sudden, bam, bam. Then he started into the church, and then he started shooting other people.
I was like, okay, we need to barricade these doors before this person comes in.
Jeremiah Reese hid in the kids' church when a police officer came in.
He said, "We gotta go, we gotta go." And then we ran out into the kitchen.
The 10-year-old says that he slipped on a wet spot.
I stepped on it, my leg twist, it popped, and then I was like, I can't walk, I cannot walk.
As he limped out,
and then I saw 5 people on the ground, and one of them were our preacher, 2 of them were a husband and wife. It was just insane. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know if my family was alive or not. And then when I saw them, I just started crying.
Now the 10-year-old is reunited with his mother at Beautiful Gate Church just blocks away.
I'm praying that everybody will be all right, and I know they will, because that man's gone, nobody's going to get hurt and stuff. And it makes me feel sad. I'm not trying to cry in front of the camera, and it makes me feel sad that that man just walked up with a shotgun, and people were hiding and stuff, but he shot my best friend. and I didn't know what to do.
Brave young man there in Kentucky. Michaela Lewis reporting, by the way. The investigation is underway with the ATF and FBI, and there's no word yet on a possible motive to that shooting. Now to the collision of politics and sports. Large numbers of NFL players in every game yesterday responding to President Trump's attack on those who kneel in protest during the national anthem. President Trump demanding players who protest be fired or suspended and urging fans to boycott games until those protests stop. All across the country, NFL players linked arms or took a knee in protest of racial injustice. What started with Colin Kaepernick taking a knee has now broadened as a response to President Trump and his recent comments. Fans are divided now more than ever.
They have the right to take a knee. They have the right to do whatever they want to do.
I agree with President Trump. I don't think they should be protesting.
The president's harsh words, though, seem to do more to unite the NFL. In Nashville, the national anthem blared over a nearly empty field. The Titans and the Seahawks staying in their locker rooms. All but one of the Steelers, Alejandro Villanueva, an Army veteran, were absent during the anthem. Patriots owner Bob Kraft, a well-known friend of President Trump, now says he's deeply disappointed by the tone of the president's comments. Coming up next on your Suncoast News, thousands are evacuating due to an active volcano at a popular vacation destination. We'll tell you more right after this.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, ANDservices.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, ANDservices.com.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at an air temperature of 81 degrees, up a degree since last hour, with a dew point value coming in at 74. Plenty of sunshine around. It's a nice afternoon. Calm winds currently will shift a little more onshore as we get into the afternoon and the sea breeze develops. We've already got some temperatures that are in the upper 80s in inland areas. 87 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Punta Gorda, Northport, 86 degrees in Mayaca City. Closer to the coastline, we've got 80 degrees in Bradenton, 81 in Sarasota, 84 in Parrish, 85 Boca Grande. Hotspot Venice coming in at 88 degrees there. We had some pretty big thunder boomers around over the last couple of days and got some very good rainfall. In fact, even some flooding rainfalls. Those rains have, of course, now dissipated. Some drier air has filtered in, and we're left with a low-pressure area that helped to bring us some of the rainfall. You can see that in the first few frames of our radar loop as this kind of circular area that's lifting north. See it right there? And it kind of falls apart. So that's gone. So some of the ingredients that we had in place to produce those showers and thunderstorms are missing today. so our rain chance is much reduced. Right now, Titan radar not showing any rain around, and there's not going to be too much rain to be seen. Our winds are going to be consistently out of the north and shifting a little bit more to the northwesterly this afternoon, even westerly right along the coastline with that sea breeze. But there's some drier air back here, and some of that drier air will filter closer to us. Maria continues to very slowly lumber northward and kind of fall apart. The wind speeds are still significant, but they're really confined to just one quadrant. It's the offshore area of the circulation. So as it lifts northward, you might get some tropical storm force winds right along the outer banks. You certainly get some pretty good wave action and maybe even some eroding waves, rip currents, things like that. But it's all stuff that they're used to there, and they will not get a direct hit, it doesn't look like. So not as many storms, a warm afternoon, mostly sunny skies. Two systems, Lee and Maria. Remember Lee? Lee was a storm, a hurricane. Then it kind of fell apart. Now it's back again. It just refuses to go away. The good news is that as far as the system goes, it's going to have no impact on us. It's a formidable hurricane, though, 90-mile-an-hour winds, but it's going to lift off to the north, as will Maria, and then make a right-hand turn out into open waters. Maria does that on Thursday, heading out to sea after it gets pretty close to the Outer Banks, and then pretty much the same story there with Lee. So neither of those two storms any threat to the United States. Beach and boating forecast, well, we have an east wind coming in at about 10 knots, shifting a little bit more to the west this afternoon at about 5 knots. 2-foot seas, light chop on bay and inland waters, and a couple of tides to talk about. We just had our low tide. That came in at 11:19. The next tide, a high tide, comes in at 5:23, followed by another low tide in the evening hours at 10:27. And the forecast for the next several days looks pretty good. We'll have only slightest little chances of rain showers each and every day, mostly inland. Don't really see a big problem here with any kind of heavy rainfall. A little chance to dry out. Daytime highs near 90 each and every day. Then as we head into the weekend, we'll start to increase the moisture, and we'll start to increase rain chances. Maria will be pulling away, so too will the kind of drying effect that it has on our weather. And so our rain chances go back up to a seasonable 30 or 40% each day. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. A volcano could erupt for the first time in more than 50 years in Bali. Thousands of people on the Indonesian island have already been evacuated, and warning banners reading "You're entering active volcanic hazard zone" have been put up. Airports around the region have begun preparations to redirect flights and handle displaced passengers, but no flights have been canceled yet. Nearly 2,000 people were killed when that volcano erupted back in 1963. Which also destroyed multiple villages around the mountain. European leaders gather in Brussels to start the third round of Brexit talks today. Both sides will try to agree on the terms of their divorce, but plenty of details remain unsolved. Britain will need to pay the European Union a divorce bill when it leaves. Also, the fate of millions of migrants hangs in the balance. Millions of Iraqi Kurds are expected to vote today on whether or not to become independent from Iraq. The vote is non-binding and has raised regional tensions and fears of instability. And it's being carried out despite opposition and warnings from the United States. The areas to look out for are in disputed territories, areas claimed by both Baghdad and the Kurds, including the oil-rich city of Kirkuk. Baghdad has also come out strongly against the referendum, demanding that all airports and border crossings in that Kurdish region be handed back to federal government control. Australia is creating its own space agency, but the government has provided few specifics yet. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull told reporters, quote, "It's a small agency to coordinate and lead." Australia's share of the global space economy is less than 1%, and this is an industry worth an estimated $330 billion.
Well, it's being announced today. It's a small agency. It's designed to coordinate and lead, but the space sector, of course, is one of enormous potential. We already have many Australian companies participating in it, and it is an example of, it's part of our innovation economy, our innovation and science economy.
Officials say the agency's charter would be developed by the end of March, and the government has yet to announce how much it will invest in this new agency. Dozens of celebrities are doing their part to help people rebuild communities. We'll tell you which singer is helping to raise money for the earthquake victims in Mexico and why it means so much to him.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. It's the final days of the Bacon's Furniture Relocation Sell-Off. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more. All at the absolute lowest prices possible. Don't miss the final days of the Bacon's Furniture and Design Relocation Sell-Off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face, in your face, in
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with your pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Thousands from all over Central Virginia and beyond gathered Sunday night for the Concert for Charlottesville. The event was organized as a response to the violence that took place there on August 11th and 12th. Dave Matthews, whose band got its start in the Virginia college town, hosted the Sunday show and thanked the attendees and performers for coming together on such short notice. He introduced Susan Bro, the mother of Heather Heyer, who was killed when a driver slammed into a crowd protesting the white nationalists.
I'm here to celebrate a new tone in Charlottesville. Since of late it's been very aggressive and unsupportive and divisive, so I'm here for that reason.
Chris Martin and Jody Buckland of Coldplay made a surprise appearance. Other performers included Cage the Elephant, Pharrell Williams, The Roots, and Ariana Grande. Shawn Mendes is raising money to help those affected by the earthquake in Mexico. The singer-songwriter is teaming up with the Red Cross for a fundraiser on CrowdRise, part of GoFundMe. Mendes and his team got things started by donating $100,000 to the effort. The singer was in Mexico City getting ready for a concert when that quake hit last week. As of this morning, he has raised more than $178,000. Two new movies opened in the top 5 at the weekend box office, and one of them knocked off the reigning champ. David Daniel shows us which movies topped the box office.
Reese Witherspoon and Home Again dropped a spot to number 5, grossing $3.3 million. American Assassin fell from 2nd to 4th place, taking in $6.3 million. The Lego Ninjago movie, the 3rd Lego feature, opened in 3rd place with $21.2 million.
I'm not doing this.
After 2 weekends on top, It fell to 2nd place, but $30 million gave the Fright flick a domestic total of $266 million.
We're from the Kingsman Tailors shop in London. Maybe you've heard of us.
The action sequel, Kingsman: The Golden Circle, is the new champ, opening on top with $39 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I loved the first Kingsman movie.
Me too.
Yeah, it was fun.
I was surprised, too, because honestly, I didn't know a whole lot about it going into the first one.
Right.
But I watched it on an airplane,
Yeah.
and I was just completely bowled over. I mean,
I
it's
know.
like 007, but even better,
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, great action.
Be fun to see.
A little gory, but yeah,
a little bit,
it's
yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Be interesting to see what the next one looks like. There's also another movie out. I think it's called Stronger, about the young man who goes through rehabilitation after being injured. That's supposed to be fantastic.
Oh, wow.
The documentary.
Yeah.
Anyway, some good stuff out there,
Yeah.
and maybe on these hot days, it might be nice to be.
Yeah.
Not be inside and watching.
We're so close to October now, John, and we're just waiting. I don't know what, mid-October maybe for that first.
Some of the long-range computer models show up front, maybe coming down and stalling out just to our south next week sometime, maybe.
Sounds great. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you again at 5.